President Trump and Ukraine's president prepare to meet at the White House. The administration walks back a takeover of D.C.'s police force, and a library book finally returned after 82 years. Plus, today's trivia question: which member of the Monkees had a mother who invented liquid paper? It's Sunday, August 17th, and this is the Flyover Podcast. Welcome to the Flyover Podcast, taking you above the noise for an unbiased, high-altitude view of today's headlines with daily coverage that's honest and refreshing. Let's cruise the news and land the facts. Hi, I'm Amy Hess, your weekend host of the Flyover Podcast. I hope you're having a great Sunday, whether that means heading to church, spending time with family, or just catching up on a little rest. We've got a lot for you in today's episode, so let's get right to it. We're cleared for takeoff. President Trump said on Saturday that Ukraine should make a deal to end the war with Russia because, in his words, Russia is a very big power and they're not. The president's remarks came after Russian President Putin told Trump during their Alaska summit on Friday that he would end the war if Ukraine surrenders the Donetsk region to Russia. Trump has reportedly committed in principle to providing security guarantees for Ukraine to protect its borders if a peace deal is reached. Ukrainian President Zelenskyy is scheduled to meet with Trump at the White House on Monday. European leaders who could also be a part of Ukraine's security pledge have been invited to join that meeting. Meanwhile, in the nation's capital, the Trump administration has agreed to leave Washington, D.C.'s police chief in control of the Metropolitan Police Department. That decision came just a day after Attorney General Pam Bondi announced that DEA Chief Terry Cole would take over as emergency police commissioner. Instead, Cole will now serve as a federal designee tasked with directing D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser to provide any services the government may need to enforce federal law in the district. Bondi also said the administration would continue pressuring city leaders to help federal authorities pursue immigration cases more aggressively. The administration walked back the takeover after a lawsuit was filed by D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab. And finally, a story that proves it's never too late to return a library book. The San Antonio Public Library just got one back, nearly 82 years overdue. The book, called Your Child, His Family, and Friends, was checked out in 1943 and only recently returned by someone in Oregon while going through a parent's old boxes. The borrower's note said, "I hope there's no late fee because Grandma won't be able to pay for it anymore." Good news for Grandma. San Antonio did away with late fees back in 2021. Otherwise, the fine would have been close to $900. Feeling tired, sluggish, or foggy? It could be poor blood flow. Blood Flow 7 by Juvenon is scientifically designed to support healthy circulation, so you feel energized, clear-headed, and vibrant again. Packed with natural ingredients like nitrosamine, S7, and trans resveratrol, Blood Flow 7 works by boosting nitric oxide levels, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels, helping your blood flow freely to every corner of your body. That means more oxygen and nutrients to your brain, heart, muscles, and places that need a little extra help as you age. With just one dose a day, you could reclaim your stamina, support heart health, and improve overall vitality, all without caffeine or stimulants. Try Blood Flow 7 today and feel the difference where it matters most, inside your veins. Visit bloodflow7.com/TFO. Again, that's bloodflow7, BLOODFLOW7.com/TFO, or just click the link in today's show notes. Now, here are some extra stories just for you, our podcast listener. You won't find these in the email. Hurricane Erin has strengthened into a powerful Category 5 storm, the first major hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic season. With winds topping 165 miles an hour, it's passing north of the Leeward Islands this weekend, dumping heavy rain and bringing the threat of flash flooding and dangerous surf. Forecasters say swells and rip currents could reach the Bahamas, Bermuda, and the U.S. East Coast early next week. In California, a 35-year-old climber is safe after spending 2 days stranded at the base of a 40-foot waterfall in Tahoe National Forest. He was reported missing by a friend, and a CHP helicopter crew finally spotted him, dehydrated but alive. Amazingly, he escaped with only minor injuries, something authorities credit to his physical condition and quick rescue efforts. And in Seattle, a family-run jewelry store was hit by a smash-and-grab robbery. Armed thieves stormed Menashe & Sons jewelers, smashing display cases and escaping with merchandise in under 2 minutes. The family's been in business for more than 50 years and called the robbery traumatic. Thankfully, no one was injured. Police are reviewing surveillance video as the investigation moves forward. Still ahead, the NBA releases its full schedule for next season, and Washington gets a star receiver back on the practice field. And later, we'll launch a brand new segment called Whatever Happened To, and reveal the answer to today's trivia. But first, here's finance. Now let's take a look at money matters. U.S. Customs and Border Protection says it has uncovered a massive duty evasion ring involving more than $400 million in unpaid trade tariffs. The scheme involved importing goods while sidestepping required fees. United Health Group shares surged 12% Friday after Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway revealed it purchased 5 million shares last quarter. And Spirit Airlines is facing more financial turbulence. Fitch Ratings downgraded the budget carrier's long-term credit rating, warning of a high likelihood of near-term default. All right, here's how the markets closed out last week. The Nasdaq added up just under 1%, up 0.76%. The S&P 500 climbed nearly a full percent, and the Dow Jones gained 1.72%. Bitcoin slipped about 1.5%, while gold dropped 1.42% to close at $3,306 an ounce. Time to check in the scoreboard and see what's making headlines in the world of sports. The NBA has released its full schedule for the 25-26 season, including opening night and holiday matchups. The full schedule has every single team and every single date during the year. Want to check it out? We've got it linked in today's show notes. Over in the NFL, Washington Commanders star receiver Terry McLaurin is back at practice. The team activated him off the physically unable to perform list as he continues to work through a contract dispute with the franchise. And in Major League Baseball, some players are making headlines off the field with a new trend: $11,000 necklaces from French jeweler Van Cleef & Arpels. The luxury pieces have been spotted around the necks of several top stars. Coming up, we'll open a little time capsule in our new Whatever Happened To segment. Hit rapid-fire headlines, plus your poll and trivia answers. But first, our Etc. section. Let's hit some rapid-fire headlines before we land today's episode. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell has been indicted on federal conspiracy, fraud, and obstruction charges, accused of concealing a romantic relationship with her bodyguard. The West Virginia National Guard is deploying 300 to 400 troops to Washington, D.C. at the Trump administration's request. In Minnesota, a nearly 60-year-old cold case has been reopened after a fisherman discovered a car that had been missing since 1967. And in Japan, McDonald's had to cancel a Pokemon Happy Meal campaign after resellers bought up meals in bulk, tossed the food, and left piles of trash outside stores. If you're more into flowers and comfort food than federal indictments and Pokemon card scandals, we've got you covered too. In today's show notes, you'll find a list of 8 low-maintenance flowers to brighten your garden and 18 soup recipes ranging from light and healthy to stick to your ribs hearty. Basically, it's your weekend starter pack: flowers for the yard and soup for the soul. Now, for something new on Sundays, we're opening up a little time capsule and calling it Whatever Happened To. This is where we dust off a story or trend from the past, the kind you might suddenly remember and wonder, hey, whatever happened to that? And for our very first one for the podcast, we're starting with a classic. Remember when Domino's promised to deliver your pizza in 30 minutes or it was free? That campaign ran for 20 years, but it ended in 1993, and it's not coming back. Why? One word: lawsuits. A string of accidents linked the guarantee to dangerous driving, and Domino's faced multi-million-dollar legal judgments. With public concern mounting, the company pulled the plug. Today, speed has given way to tracking and quality. Apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash give a delivery window, but no guarantee of high-speed drop-offs. Fun fact, though, Domino's still offers 30-minute deliveries in some international markets, just with restrictions. So what about you? Did you ever score a free Domino's pizza when they missed the deadline? Let us know in the comments. Now it's time for Pole Position, where we turn the mic over to you. Yesterday we asked, which gemstone would you choose for an engagement ring? 2/3 of you went with the classic choice diamond at 67%. Sapphire and emerald each pulled in 10%. Ruby had 6%, and 7% of you picked something else. Gotta say I'm with the majority here, but as I've gotten older, I've really come to appreciate not always following the crowd. So for the rest of you gemstone admirers, I see you. All right, for today's question, we're keeping with the library theme after that 82-year-old overdue book story. We want to know, are you a member of your local public library? Your choices are yes, no, or I should really get a card. Cast your vote with a link in today's show notes, and Ayla will have the results for you in tomorrow's show. All right, time's up for today's trivia question. We asked, which member of the Monkees had a mother who invented liquid paper correction fluid? The answer? Michael Nesmith. His mother, Bette Nesmith Graham, was the inventor of liquid paper. And Michael went on to be the guitarist for the 1960s pop group, the Monkees. That's all for today's flyover. I always enjoy being with you on Sundays, giving you the headlines you need and a little something extra for your day. Don't forget to like, follow, and share the show. And if you want more news tailored to where you live, check out one of our state editions at jointheflyover.com. Weekdays are covered by the amazing Ayla Brown, and I'll be back with you next weekend. Thanks as always for flying with us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.